All right, so let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. Have your feet about a hip's width apart and just feel the sensation of the weight of the feet in the floor. And the backs of the legs in the chair and your pelvis and your sits bones. Just feel the weight of your sits bones in the chair and release the weight of the pelvis into the chair. And align your shoulders with your hips and your ears with your shoulders. And just imagine your spine is this beautiful string of pearls of light that stretches from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head. And just trying to put some space in between your vertebrae. And then go to the crown of the head and release any tension there. Relax your scalp and the forehead and the eyes and the nose and the cheeks, back of the tongue and the jaw, your temples and the back of the head. And just see if you can lengthen your neck a little bit. And allow your shoulders and shoulder blades just to drop down. And relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. And just notice the sensation of the breath as you inhale and exhale. Around the nostrils, around the thoracic cavity. The belly. And just be aware of any potential distractions in your environment. Could be sound. Today I saw 2 orange cats crawling all over 2 different individuals. And they both were doing the same thing, crawling up over the shoulder. Wanted to, as soon as the person sits down, I think the cat wanted to come. So that's a huge distraction for the person. So just allow all of the distractions to be there, trying not to follow with the mind. And I know, Shayla, you've got Source there with the telly on. So just do the best you can. And then just check in with your mind this evening. So for those of you that were at the meditation this morning, just see where your mind's at in comparison to this morning. And just try not to judge what's going on in your mind. Just try and have a sort of a relaxed attitude towards what's there. Taking a step back and trying not to get all wrapped up in the emotion. And I really understand it's so much easier said and talked about than actually done in the moment. In the moment, we often just forget all the tools that are at our disposal, the things we've learned, how to breathe, how to think, certain exercises to do, just goes out the window. And slowly, slowly. And then bring to mind all the people of your life, your loved ones, your strangers, the ones you don't particularly like. And just remember they're all equal. They all want to be happy, they don't want to suffer, and they all have this extraordinary capacity for this enlightened mind. So think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it by creating positivity instead. And we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we might experience. We know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. Also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and then think, oh, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, Buddha Vajrasattva, who has these methods that we can use to purify. So it's not that we're needing Buddha Vajrasattva to forgive us necessarily. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, radiant white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has a beautiful, radiant face, and his eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. And he has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened by this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva. May I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So the first step we took was this very, very quick equanimity meditation. And then we think about, and so we were relying on sentient beings there as well to try and see all beings as equal. So we need to rely on beings that we've harmed and those who have harmed us by having a wish for them to be free from suffering. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to end up as suffering for them in the future. So you make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings and think, I must purify for their sake. Then we come to the power of remedy. And this is the actual medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa tata gata vajra mame mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samayam anupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jida mebowa situkaya mebowa sipokaya mebowa. Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajra mame mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samayam anupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jida mebowa sitokaya mebowa sipokaya mebowa. Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samayam anupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Juda mebowa situkaya mebowa sipokaya mebowa. Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samayam anupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jida mebowa situkaya mebowa sipokaya mebowa. Anurakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samayam anupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jida mebowa situkaya mebowa sipokaya mebowa. Anurakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samayam anupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jida mebowa situkaya mebowa sipokaya mebowa. Anurakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva ahum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified. And imagine there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. The next is the purification of our speech. And Vajrasattva now very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra. And this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire body, except forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about people behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you. And all of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva samayam anupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Jida mebowa situkaya mebowa sipokaya mebowa. Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva ahum pe. Om Vajrasattva samayam anupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Jida mebowa situkaya mebowa sipokaya mebowa. Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samayam anupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Jida mebowa situkaya mebowa sipokaya mebowa. Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samayam anupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Jida mebowa situkaya mebowa sipokaya mebowa. Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samayam anupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Jida mebowa situkaya mebowa sipokaya mebowa. Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mebi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mibiyata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And next is the mind, our purification of our mind. And Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it happens as instantaneously as you walking into a room and flicking on a switch and the light coming. So when that happens, when the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind is instantly dispelled. So all the attachment and neediness and anger and bitterness and grudges and resentment and jealousy, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as you recite the mantra again. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mebiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mibiyata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe, Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mipiyata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe, Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mipiyata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mibiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mibiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mibiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And then think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of our body, speech, and mind. So this time imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar. It fills you completely. So then the nectar pushes down all the negativity of the body and then pushes up all the negativity of the speech. And then the light comes and blasts all the delusions. And this is happening all at the same time. And so this way it eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your consciousness. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Petita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Petita Dida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mebi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe, vajrasattva samayam manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe, vajrasattva samayam manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. So now feel you're completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So then we come to the power of resolve. And this is the fourth and the final step in the purification process. And it's a really crucial one. And this is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. Without this, we're just going to keep doing the same old things over and over again. So this determination, this aspiration to refrain from harming is like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new directions. So you remember, everything exists on the tip of the wish. So we want to aspire to refrain from harming, and so then we just decide I'm not going to do it. So we've all got all these habits. Some of them we're not even aware of, So things that we make a determination to refrain from harming, even consciously or unconsciously. And maybe think of something to work on between now and tomorrow, something you'd like to just maybe think about, be aware of. Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on emptiness. So in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while, and we can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So just let's dedicate all the merit, any positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings. And think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice this evening ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. Okay. All right. This is our chanting the names of Manjushri. Displaying a gentle smile to living beings, a smile that fills a threefold world with light, that tames the enemy, the four maras, that ends unwanted birth in all three forms. His voice melodious like that of a Brahma, completely filling all the triple world, replied as follows to the Lord of Secrets, to Vajrapani, strongest of the strong, that you, abounding in supreme compassion and aiming to assist all living beings, are willing and prepared to hear from me this evil quelling, purifying chanting. All right, everyone. Let's have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long and for the swift return of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche and for all of your own individual teachers to live long. All right, everyone. Lots of love. Thank you. Thank you. Good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Shayla, thank you for managing all the bits and pieces, including your grandson who's behind you. And so, okay, thank you. Lots of love, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.